Hello everyone. What I'm holding here is a photograph of a pigeon that's long gone. This is the red checker hen. It was from this pigeon that I learned how to fly pigeons. And in order to explain that to you, we're going to have to go back in time. I could tell you a lot of things, but it's experience that will get you to the top. And I'm hoping that this pigeon and what she did for me will get you to the top. All right, let's get to it. That pigeon, I was going to kill it. A friend of mine had given me a bunch of reds. I told him I want to fly some reds. You got reds? He gave me some reds. After he gave me them, he called me up and said, "Danny, look, I made a mistake. There's a silver cock in there. That's a very good pigeon. Don't kill it. Breed out of it. And when you're done, please give it back to me." I'll leave a lot of that out. I did give him the pigeon back. But it was out of that cock that I raised that red checker hen. And I wasn't a good pigeon flyer at the time. That's okay, I did good, but not real good. Until the day I was going to kill that pigeon. I packed up all the birds that I was going to kill and put them in a basket. She was the first pigeon I grabbed because she was by the door. She was the last one I picked up. And as I picked her up, I realized that she was sitting on eggs. All that hassle and noise and everything else I did in the coop, picking them birds, she didn't get up. She stayed right on them eggs. So I said, maybe I'll give you a second chance. And I let her out like this in front of me. That pigeon flew right over here, right over my shoulder. When I turned around and looked at the landing board, all I could see was her butt running in. So I walked over to the coop, opened the door. She nested right by the door. I picked her up. I took her back. I sat back down. I threw her up again and again right over my shoulder into the loft. So fast. Huh. I'd love to have my pigeons trapped like that every day. I opened that basket and I said, nobody dies today. Not a one of you. Not a one of them. Because when I turned my hand over, there were 3 fingers pointing at me. I didn't do my job right. And you may not be doing your job right. So listen to this video very carefully. And subscribe. There'll be other ones just like this. From the Whitney book, if you watched the previous video, I learned how to get them healthy. They were healthy. But I never raced that red checker hen to eggs. But I did in the future. And she won the board every time I shipped her. All she had to do was be sitting on eggs. Her hormones were right. I mentioned that at the end of the other video. That pigeon was so good, I only shipped it to the twos. We had a lot of twos in New York. I wouldn't risk her. She won the board every time. One day, Stephen Mitchell, you heard me mention him, he says, "Hey, Danny, we're going to go to the club." I said, "We can't go yet." He said, "Why?" I said, the red checker hen's laying a second egg. He said, Danny, you're going to ship her? She's laying eggs. And Danny said, yeah, I'm going to ship her. Let her lay her egg. We went inside. We had coffee or something. And when we came out, she had dropped that second egg. I picked her up, went to the club, put her across the board. I think she was 12th or 13th. But nobody else had a board bird. She won it. She won it every time I shipped her. But what's more important about her, when I moved, I took that pigeon with me. There was no way I was going to leave that pigeon behind. I had a pigeon down here, 544. He was the rave. Everybody talked about him. He won every time I shipped him to the club. But we used to have A and B races. And that red checker hen raised me a blue checker white flight. At the end of the season, when we did combine champion birds and everything else, everybody thought 544 was going to be the champion bird. He wasn't. It was that blue checker hen, white flight. They didn't see her. They didn't notice her. Because I couldn't ship her all the time. Sometimes she was in between eggs. Can't ship them when they're going to lay another egg. So I would leave her home. But she wound up to be the champion bird. So that motherly instinct, the hormones that I talk about, is passed down from mother to daughter. She never raised me a good cock. I never got a good cock out of her. But I got a lot of good hens out of her. That pigeon was so good she went barren down here. And I thought I'd move her into another petition, change her around. Maybe I can get one more set of eggs out of her. It didn't happen. The pigeon got out and was gone. But Stephen Mitchell had purchased my house in New York. He had the yard, same yard. I called him up. Stephen, the red checker hen got out. If you see a stray red checker, it's probably her. He called me up 2 weeks later. She's home, Danny. She's here. She was still barren. We couldn't get any more babies out of her. But I wanted to tell you about the red checker hen. It was from that pigeon that I learned about pigeons and hormones. And I'm going to talk more about them in future videos. I run too long with my mouth. So please subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs down. Make a comment. And thank you for watching.